I'm Danielle Redden. I am a local Hanover artist and art historian. I also do some art teaching. And I like to create. I like to create lamps and paintings and printmaking. And I am here today at Little Fox Coffee and Books. And they are part of a Hanover Art Walk that's going to be starting on First Fridays. And we are the start of the First Friday. I'm an artist, an art historian, and an art teacher. I've met countless people who say, no, that's not me, but I've interacted with it long enough to know that everyone has some aspect of creativity. Whether you make visual art, musical arts, theater, even the way you cook, all those things are creative aspects. And when it comes to the visual arts, there's a lot of different ways for people to plug in. And Little Fox is having every single month a new artist come and display in their shop. The Guild has different art classes. There's different art shows all around town. If you're interested even a little bit in what plugging into creativity or artistic endeavors could be, I just really encourage you seek one of these places out. And it's just, even if you don't make it public, just start making something. You will learn more about yourself. You will learn more about the world. And I think you might even have some fun doing it. As you know, I'm an artist and I have a piece of work that I'd like to share with you. This piece here is called Pom Wonderful. If you've ever drank pomegranate juice, that's one of the references here. Pomegranates are a motif or a visual symbol that I like to use a lot. The pomegranate for me represents a lot of things, definitely a person that I care about a lot, and so it shows up in my work. This is a linoleum relief print. It's basically like making a stamp, and so I do all of the carving, and then I take ink and roll it all over the print and then stamp it with a piece of paper. Because of that, I can do it in a lot of different colors, so I typically do red or black when it comes to pomegranates. But it's a lot of fun. My favorite part is the carving of it, but the end result of a print I also enjoy as well. Now this piece is called Ginkgo 2. It comes after Ginkgo 1, but essentially it's looking at ginkgo leaves as a subject. And the thought behind this is like, when a ginkgo tree grows and when in the fall the leaves fall, like what is that kind of movement making? A friend of mine really likes ginkgo leaves, and so I was inspired to do a lot of different prints based off of that kind of symbol. This is Ginkgo 1, or Thinking of You. This is the first print that I made based off of that friend of mine. And I used the circle because it's this unifying symbol that kind of brings the whole thing around visually, as well as the meaning behind it, is that even though these pieces are all separated, they all can come together and they exist in the same way, in the same playing field. But it also is a helpful visual because it takes everything in and brings it all into the center. As an artist, there's something that's inside that I have to create. Even if no one ever sees it, it's really making for me, but it's also because the world around me is just so interesting. I go into a grocery store and I see the different fruits and the vegetables, and I also see color and light and texture and pattern, and I can't help myself. I want to make stuff because of that. And there's all sorts of things in this world that people find inspiring and create things because of that. And I think and really believe that there's something inside all of us that responds to the things that we see other people make as well. And so this relationship between people creating and other people receiving those creations and being inspired, whether it is to make something themselves or to just move about their day a little differently because of it, or just smile because you see a piece of garlic and why have it on a canvas? But I think those are the different reasons why it's really important to have public art, and I think that's why it matters that Hanover as a town have an art walk, so that there's spaces where the general public can come together and celebrate the artists we have in town, but also to be able to create a creative space which then will initiate and inspire more creative works. There's no limit to people's creativity, and if we support that, we're giving them wings and they can fly. So, if you never heard of a gourd lamp, this is an example of one of my gourd lamps. It is made from dried gourds, so you can knock on it, it won't mold, it's dried out. And what I do is that I take either a Dremel or a drill and I carve all the little holes in it and then create a different base. This particular one is called Sun. It's based off of a song by Sleeping at Last. And my thought behind it was, as I was listening to this song, is like, what does it mean for, like, what would that look like? What would infinity look like? What would the creation of space and time look like? And so, for example, this one here is actually an infinity symbol that goes all the way around. And then this one here swirls around. And so it's kind of taking different lines of the song and creating a light sculpture, because once the light goes in it, anything projected out becomes this other type of artwork. Another thing I do a lot is I like fruit. I like painting fruit, I like printing fruit, but this is one of the fruit paintings I did called Peachy Keen. And just because I think peaches in particular are really interesting color-wise and shape-wise. I really love circles. I do a lot of things with circles. And so there's just different ways that some fun and inspiration can come out in different mediums. That can happen through printing and painting, but it can also happen in 3D. And I like to take those disparate aspects and think it through with my hands in a lot of different ways.
Hi, I'm Andrew Smith. I'm the curator of this space. We are at the gallery at the Old Post Office in Hanover, Pennsylvania, and it was an old post office.
Hi, I'm Dixie Brillhart, and I'm an artist that usually participates in Andy's monthly or semi-monthly themes that he puts out to have exhibits at the Old Post Office Gallery.
And as I mentioned, this is an old post office. It was Hanover's post office from 1913 to 1969. At that point, it became a clothing store, and that was a very popular clothing store until 1988. And then it sat empty for a little while until the current owner purchased it and established business suites in it. And we're very thankful to Mr. Rowland for sharing his building with us. We have exhibits in here that, as Dixie said, change every 2 months. And anyone is welcome to enter artworks to share here. The current exhibit is called Sustenance. So each artist shared a work that to them talked about how they sustained things. And Dixie has a work actually right near us.
I chose tea time and croissants as my theme for sustenance. If I'm feeling down or if I need a refreshment, that's where I turn to, whether it be like a day like this, some iced tea would be great. But other than that, in the wintertime and fall, hot tea is a great way to calm down and to restore yourself. This piece of artwork started out as a watercolor, and then I added bits and pieces of interest to bring out a collage effect on it. Part of it, the main focus here, the teacup, actually came from Natural Living type of magazine that you can pick up at the grocery store, from the holistic type. And some of the stamps are from different countries, and they reflect the colors and the ideas that are being presented through the painting here. And this little sunshine is from a Lipton green tea bag. So it's just a way to use what you have and to express your artistic side. And
looking at another piece, this is a work, excuse me, that I did. It's simply called Paint, because art helps sustain me mentally. And it is a work done by a process called clay monoprints. So instead of paint or ink, there is literally clay clinging to that surface. So you print with clay, and it hangs there. There is a little bit of real paint on the tips of the brushes just for fun, since there would be paint on your brushes often. So every work here in the building right now is a similar type of thing where it talks about how people sustain themselves. And just want to throw out that we really appreciate the art walk this evening. It was a fun way to get some people into this wonderful building and see these artworks. So we hope the series continues. So thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Julie Miller. I'm a member of the Art Guild, and I'm also the current president of the Art Guild. I'm starting my 3rd year as president. I've been a member of this organization since about 2012, but I've been associated with it through my husband for a lot longer than that. Once I retired, I got really involved with the Art Guild because this is kind of a very special place. Everyone here is so art focused, and it's in so many different ways. There are people who are focused here for the exhibits. There are others who are focused for the educational opportunities that our classes offer. It's just such a strongly felt need in this community to have this kind of a place. And there is such a need. We have about 185 members right now, give or take. That fluctuates every so often. We are a nonprofit, 501c3 corporation, so all of the legal stuff that goes along with that is a part of us, and we're really happy for that. It is a member organization. All of the artwork on the walls and in the showcases and standing in the middle of the room is member artwork created by local artists and craftspeople who want to be a part of bringing art to the community, both for their own expression and also to share what they're able to do everywhere.
Hi, I'm Tim Gasper. I'm a self-taught folk artist. Started painting about 40 years ago, and I'm here at the Art Walk, first ever Hanover Art Walk, displaying some of my work. I work mostly in acrylics. This is one of my favorite paintings. This one won an award, and it's called Nobody Lives There Anymore. And this is a situation. What inspired me to do this was so many of the old Victorian homes they're selling off the land around them, and that's the type of community that I grew up in, was modern, mid-century modern homes that were all placed around a big old Victorian mansion. And that's how I got the inspiration for this one. It's kind of sad because the old house has so many problems with it, and it's probably not going to sell to anybody. But then you got the two mid-century modern here, and so it's about renewal. Okay, this is another one of my favorite paintings. When I was growing up in West Virginia, we would go to Mass on Sunday morning, and I would love to stare at the figures that were painted into the beautiful stained glass windows. And they were of saints, and I remember one of them was of a nun. So, but anyway, this one is Saint Cecilia, patron saint of music and musicians. Saint Philip Neri, I put him in there because I liked his hat. And then this one is Saint Gertrude. She is the patron saint of cats and cat lovers. This painting here is a little more typical of my style than church windows. It's a beautiful country scene. I love autumn because of all the bright colors that I can use, and I'm very much into colors. This one is a little different too, actually, although it's my style, but I used ink and gouache rather than the usual acrylic. So it was kind of an experiment too, just to see how that would turn out, but I'm kind of pleased with it.
Downtown Hanover is sometimes a curious place because we've been here for a long time, but we still have people who come in and say, I never even knew this place existed, and I've lived here all my life. So we're delighted to have this kind of opportunity and have this new art walk that's now an option for us every month to bring more people in and to share that with the rest of the downtown art-focused community. So that's a really good thing for our members and for the general public here in the community. One of the things that we hope to increase as people become more familiar with us through the Art Walk is our classes that we offer to anyone in the public who's interested in coming. We've got a seasonally changing schedule of classes and hope to see a lot of new people coming in as a result of things like the Art Walk.
Hi, I'm Eric Miller, a member of the Hanover Arts Guild and have been for 45 years. The Arts Guild's been in this location since 1996, but actually started in 1968 in various spots before we ended up here. This is one of our more recent members, Tim Gasper, and I'm standing in here in the gallery with his artwork, which we're happy to have. We like to feature artists here from time to time who are members and give them a chance to exhibit their work and hopefully make some sales too. Tim has been doing okay. He's sold a couple. A lot of people come in to see his work, and we hope he continues to be a member and show here for a long time to come.
And this one is one of my autobiographical paintings. I like to do paintings where that are basically my childhood memories. This was an old resort in near Winchester, Virginia. It's called Jordan Springs, and every summer the church would have a parish picnic here because it was built as a resort, but it then later became a monastery. Then it became a drug treatment center, and now it's rented out for venues for weddings and things like that. It's also considered to be one of the most haunted buildings in Virginia. There was a program, I think it was called Ghost Hunters, that did a whole episode on this building. And I love to paint old buildings, and particularly haunted ones. So anyway, this is, the style is very primitivistic or naive, they call it. And it's very, the figures are very much like Grandma Moses would have done. This one here, for instance, is my aunt, who was a nun, and she was a nun for 90 years. She died at the age of 107. So I put people that I knew in my paintings, and those picnics were the highlight of my whole summer. I just loved those picnics, especially because of the swimming pool. And then, now this one is a little bit unusual for me. I love the flowers in it, and I love animals, especially the big cats. I'm not sure exactly where the inspiration for this one came, but I just decided that I wanted animals. This would be my cat. I had a black cat, and then I had a friend who had a beautiful Weimaraner named Biff. I don't have a lion yet, but I'm hoping to get one. Yeah, I first got interested in art when I got my first job with the federal government, and I moved to Washington, D.C. I went to the National Gallery, and they had an exhibit of, it was called the Garbiche Collection of American Folk Art, and it was just wonderful. It just blew me away. So I went to the gallery bookstore looking for books on primitive, naive, which are basically other names for folk art, primitive, naive art. And looking through those, I started getting ideas of some of my own that maybe I could paint. And the first few paintings I did were absolutely horrible. I still have one or two of them just so I can see how much I've progressed. But this is another one of my favorites, Caroling. It's another autobiographical painting, and just shows different types of two colonial type houses and one mid-century modern in the middle. And so the people are out on the street caroling. And I love winter scenes particularly because the white tends to really set off the colors and make them pop. Sometimes when I get tired of painting, I like to do crafts, different types of crafts, especially when the holiday seasons are coming up and that type of thing, because they sell well. So these are some of my abstract design boxes that I do. This one here I think is one of my favorites because of the colors remind me of the ocean, the sea. And then I have a lighthouse. This is paper mache that's been coated with acrylic molding paste and then painted. And then a couple of other boxes over here. I do themes, like this is 50s, 1950s theme in 50s colors, music box. These are just little trinket boxes, and then inside they are covered with paper and paint. And I can do abstract designs on these, and which I don't usually do much on paintings, but I like to do those in my crafts. And then I have one over here that is more of my folk style of painting. This is a magazine book holder that I found in a thrift shop. It was unfinished wood, and so I painted designs on that. And it's very simple. I mean, it is painting, so I get tired of painting, but it is different when you're doing something three-dimensional. So yeah, I'm very happy that we're having this art walk here. For a short period, I lived in New Hampshire and Vermont, and Vermont had a monthly art walk like this all through the summer months, and it really gets people out and gives them some place to go in the evenings for something different, and it's a real benefit for the artists too, because we really get to display our work, and we display it for people who are our neighbors right in town. And so I'm very excited about it, and I'm looking forward to the next one in September.
We recently did our downtown Hanover's Snacktown Street Fair, where we had an artisan market set up in the gallery with 14 different members selling their work directly to the public. And the public had an opportunity to meet those artists and craftspeople and again say, I never knew you were here. So now they know, and we're just thrilled to have more of the members of the public come in, look at our artwork, enjoy talking to our artists, and hopefully expand their knowledge and understanding of who we are, and also maybe become members themselves, whether they're a supporting member, which just indicates their love for and support for the arts, if they aren't a practicing artist who is interested in showing or selling their own work. So we've got a place for everyone here, both the doers and the enjoyers of art, as well as those who want to learn about art, because the educational part of our mission is pretty important to us. It's one of the reasons we've been giving a graduating senior from a local high school a scholarship for the last 40-some years now. Actually, that's not true. It's not quite 40, but it's been for a lot of years that we've been offering a high school student a scholarship, and we're happy that the community helped respond through our Give Local York promotion this year, because that's allowing us to increase the amount of the scholarship that we're able to give, which is a wonderful thing given the cost of college these days. And
if you're a member of the Arts Guild, like Tim and myself and a number of other people, they pay yearly dues, but that gives them the option to show their artwork here through most of the year, in addition to the special shows we have. And it's one of the longest art venues in Hanover. We really think that we do a lot to feature and showcase the work of local artists. We hope to continue doing that for a long time.
Hi, I'm Danielle Redden, and here at the First Friday at Little Fox. And I just want to thank everybody who came out and participated and went to the Hanover Art Guild and Serpent's Key, the gallery at the Old Post Office, and here at Little Fox. We really hope that you'll come back next month. We're going to have all different artists. This is First Friday. Just remember, First Friday next on September, October, so on and so forth. Really glad to have you, and hope to see you next time.